This course is presented to you free of charge by TTJ Tech Services of www.ttjtech.biz and by Stir It Up of www.stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U, not an I, so that's STURITUP.com. TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up are pleased to offer this course to you to the glory of God and to the benefit of all those who listen. Well, welcome back to another session. We're going to be talking today about the calendar. Once again, we are dealing with an app that is fully compatible with iCloud, so it works across all of your Apple devices, iPad, iPhone, Mac, and even the Apple Watch and the HomePod if you happen to have one of those. About the only thing they don't have a calendar on is the Apple TV, I guess. But what we are going to be focusing on today in the Mac Calendar app, I want to remind everybody, just like we talked the last time, and depending on what classes you've taken or what you've heard here, you know that these apps support multiple types of accounts. And same deal where we talked about this, if you listen to the contacts session that we did, Trainer Cliff and I explained that it is possible to have multiple accounts, and they don't just do email, right? So, for example, you might have your Gmail account added to your Mac, and it might be set up to do Google Calendars. And you might have your Microsoft Outlook account so you can send and receive email with Outlook in the Mail app, but it may also be doing Outlook calendars. Now, we strongly discourage that. I know we talked about this in the contact session if you heard that, but this bears repeating. We strongly encourage everybody to disable calendars for Outlook, for Gmail, for Yahoo, for all of those things that may have them, and only leave calendars on for iCloud. That way you don't have the potential confusion of, well, I put this on a calendar, but I don't see it on my other devices. It's not syncing. What's going on? And of course, it turns out you didn't have it on the correct calendar that's syncing with everything across the board. So if it's possible for you to do so, you can go into your settings, which we're looking at system settings. We've heard about that, and we know that we can go in and we can disable calendars for any of those other accounts. Just make sure they're enabled for iCloud. Now, in some cases, it happens that you might need calendars enabled for something else like Gmail. Maybe you work for a company that uses Outlook calendars or Gmail, Google calendars, and they require you to have your calendars set up like that. Well, that's okay. You can do that as long as you understand what you're doing. When you add events, you make sure that you put them on the calendar account you really intend to add them to. So let's take a look today. All right, we're going to go to the dock because it does have the calendar app here by default. You can also get it in the applications folder. You can, a lot of different ways you can get it. Trainer Cliff uses commanders for a lot of these apps.
Lazy volume, Macintosh HD.
All right, I happen to be on my desktop there, and I'm just going to open the dock. And I can always type the first few letters.
Calendar.
And there it is, and I can VO space.
Finder, calendar, window. April 2024, month calendar area group has keyboard focus.
All right, let's just pause there. And like with many of our other apps, we're just going to explore a little bit. All right, how about that? We're just going to VO left arrow and VO right arrow to see what we can see. I suspect that this is going to be, a lot of times we can get used to these. We talked about at the beginning, right? Predictable patterns and fundamentals. And I would think that we would expect to see an app like Calendar that is set up very much like an app like Contacts, where it's probably going to have a table on one side, maybe an accounts table, maybe not. We'll see. And I suspect it's going to have a table with the events and maybe another section with the event info. So we're going to look, and we know we're going to have to interact with some of these. I suspect we might be close to the right. So we're going to VO right arrow and see if there's anything else.
Vertical splitter, vertical.
Okay, so nope, that's it. So now let's go back with VO left arrow and see what we
April
have.
2024, month calendar area group.
Okay, so
You are
we've
currently
heard
on a group. To
What did that
interact
talk?
with items in this group, press Control, Option, Shift, down arrow.
That's right. Exactly. We heard the word group. So we know if we want to access the April group, we must interact with it to see the calendar. Let's not interact with it right now, though. Let's VO left arrow, see what else we can learn about this app.
Vertical splitter, toolbar.
Okay. Toolbar.
Full screen button.
And that's really it. Once you get to those full screen buttons and so on, you're kind of past all the stuff that we really need to be concerned with at the moment. So we're going to go back to the right and interact with that toolbar to see what's on
Toolbar. In toolbar, 8 items. Calendar, radio button, 1 of 2. Inbox, radio button, 2 of 2.
Now, the first thing we have is calendar and inbox, and they're radio buttons. You can VO space on either one of those. The inbox is going to be where you receive your invites from
April
other people.
2024.
If somebody invites you to a calendar event, you'll see it there. And if you have a shared calendar, like a family calendar, you'll see the changes that other people have made, if they've made any. We'll talk a little bit more about that here soon.
Vertical splitter.
But let me, now it kind of jumps.
Toolbar. In
out of
tool,
that there,
inbox, radio button.
Okay, so we're on calendar.
Radio button, 1 of 2.
At least I think we
Inbox,
are.
radio button, 2 of 2.
Okay, let's keep going now to the right.
Add event button.
There's the add event button. And this is obviously exactly what it says. It's going to allow us to create new events here.
Day, radio button, 1 of 4. Week, radio button.
You can also
month,
create a new
select
event with Command N, which we'll find when we go into
Yes.
the menu bar. But
Right,
just
when we
throw
look at
it
the
out
menu
there.
bar, just like with contacts, multiple ways of doing things. Exactly. Now we have these 4 radio buttons here: day, week,
year,
month,
radio,
and year. And that determines what we're going to see in that other group, how we're viewing our calendar. You notice if you listen
month, selected, radio button, 3 of 4.
that it is month is the default that's selected here. And I guess, you'd play with this and you'd find something that works for you. As we always say, personal preference. On the iPad, I really like week view. On the Mac, this is an iMac 24-inch screen. It's probably reasonable if you can see it to have a whole month there in front of you. And for us, there's no reason why we can't. So I'm going to leave that alone for right now. But know that you can switch that anytime you want.
Year, radio, search text field, search.
Okay, and there's a search field. So if I want to search for something specific on my calendar, dentist appointment, lunch with, whatever, we can just type things in there and we can then view the search results.
Search text field.
And that's the last thing that we have in this toolbar. So we already know that we're currently in month view. So I'm going to stop interacting and move over here to that table.
April 2024, month calendar area group.
Now, we know it's an area, and we must believe that there's going to have to be a way to pick other months and so on. So let's interact with this and take a look.
In April 2024, previous month button.
Okay, well, right off the bat, there's a button that says previous month. So we know we can VO space on that if we want to go back and see what was in March.
Today button.
There's a today button that jumps us to today's date.
Next month button.
Okay, next month, you got
March
that.
31st, May 11th, 2024, grid, 6 rows, 7 columns. March
then-
31st, May 11th.
That's it. So what we heard is that this actually is currently viewing March 31st through May 11th. It's got a grid of columns and rows, and we can interact with it to see what's on the calendar for these different dates. So remember, we're going deeper into that hotel. We've already gone into the building. Now we're going to go in deeper because we want to go in another level, interact again here.
In March 30, in March 31st, May 11th, 2024, grid, 6 rows, 7 columns. Sunday, March 31st, 3 events list. Sunday,
I'm going to go to the
Monday,
right.
April 1st, 5 events list. You are currently
it's
on the
probably
list. To begin interacting with the items in this
Yep,
list,
exactly.
press Control, Option, Shift, down arrow.
That's what I was going to say. It's probably going to tell us that we need to interact. Each of these days on the calendar is going to have a certain number of events, or maybe not. But we heard that, for example, Sunday
March 31st, 3 events list.
has 3 events. So if I want to see what those are, I can start interacting here.
Easter Sunday, March 31st, 2024, all day. This event belongs to calendar, holidays in United States. 1 of 3.
Now, it told us a lot of...
This event belongs to calendar, holidays in United States.
Let's just listen a
You are
minute.
currently on a text element, inside of a list.
Okay, so it already tells us that what calendar it's on. It tells us the name of the event. And I don't know, let's go to the right
Easter,
here.
March 31st, 2024, all day. This event belongs to calendar, U.S. holidays. 2 of 3.
Okay, so it's 2 different calendars that sound very similar, but they are 2 different calendars.
Church at Christ Victory Church 470 Buena Road,
Now, this is
Man's
actually
Choice, Pennsylvania
what we have here is a
15550,
specific
United
event.
States. Starts on March 31st, 2024 at 10:00 a.m. and ends at 12:30 p.m. This event belongs to calendar, family. 3 of 3.
There we go. That is a specific event that we've created from a different calendar, the family calendar. I'll tell you more about those in a moment. You'll notice that we're at the end of this. We're at the end of
Church
this.
at Christ.
The particular events. I remember I've interacted several times now, right? Where did we go? We interacted with the calendar, which was currently selected on April. We could have changed the date, but we had April. Or then we went to the right. We interacted with the list of the grid of events that went from March 31st through May 11th, which covers obviously a little more than April. And then we interacted with a specific day of the week. Now, again, this is going to look different depending on the view you have. Remember, we could have day, week, month, or year view. So this is the month view. So if you were in a different view like week view, it would maybe say week of April 1st through the 8th, or week of April 8th through the, it's going to look different slightly depending on what your view is set for up in that toolbar. But the end result is the same. You have to interact, and you'll notice now if we try to interact
In
again,
text.
we're not actually seeing anything there now. So we're really as far as we needed to go. So we'll
Out of
stop
text.
one time. Now, what if I need to know more about this event?
Church at Christ Victory Church 470.
Okay, there's a church event, and what I want to try is my context options. Remember, there are 2 ways we can get context menus. One is through VO Shift M, and the other way is through VO Command Spacebar. So I'll do one of those here. I'll do VO Shift M on this event.
Menu, 11 items. Get info, dimmed. Calendar, submenu. Delete, dimmed. Cut, dimmed. Copy,
I'm not sure why they're all
closing
dimmed.
Church at Easter, Church at Christ Victory.
Maybe.
Menu, get info, dimmed.
So in the VO Shift M context menu, the very first thing you have is get info, and then you'll hear the other ones. I'll go
Calendar, submenu.
Okay, that's going to show us the calendars we have. I can VO right arrow
Calendar,
here.
submenu, 12 items. Home. TTJ training, checkmark, family.
This is on the family calendar. That's why it says check mark.
Work. TTJ team. Bedford County Faith Summit. Google, dimmed. Birthdays, dimmed. Family. Holidays in United States. The Tech Juggernaut. At the Tech Juggernaut.
Yeah, so it does have the Google calendar on here as well. I'm going to go VO left arrow to get back out of that, because remember that was a sub menu within the context menu.
10 items calendar.
Okay.
Delete.
You can delete the event
You are currently
from the
on
VO Shift M context
Cut.
menu.
Copy, paste, duplicate, email event. Email all participants, dimmed. Message all participants, dimmed. Message all participants, dimmed.
Now, the reason that this is dimmed is probably because we don't have any invitees in this particular event. It is on a family calendar, but it's not. We haven't, invited other people. So that's a cool feature, though. If everybody, you had email addresses in there, whatever, you could definitely email all participants. So that was our VO Shift M menu. And if we do escape
Closing
out of
menu.
that, and this time I do VO Command Space.
Actions menu, 2 items. Show menu. Press.
Or press. So probably it's going to be the exact same
Show menu.
but we'll look just
Menu,
for fun.
10 items. Show menu. Scholastic quiz at Everett Area High School. Get info. Calendar. Delete. Cut. Copy. Paste. Duplicate. Email. Email. Message all participants. Message all participants. Email.
So let's show you.
Get info.
Get info. I'm already in this menu, so we'll just VO space on get info.
Event title now in window. Scholastic quiz. Contents selected. Edit text.
VO right
Family.
arrow.
Pop-up button.
That shows me what calendar
Everett
it's on.
Area High School 1 none. Pop-up April 19th. 10 minutes driving from 415 alert when I need to leave button. Add notes URL. Map center. Add notes URL or attachments button.
Okay, so you can
Edit
do that.
attendees button.
You heard edit
Add map
attendees.
show button. Show button.
So all of these different options here, and we could just escape out of this right now because we don't actually need to create or make any changes to this, but we can read that
Scholastic
info.
quiz at Everett Area.
I am going to try
Scholastic.
the Command I here.
Now in window. Show button. Show map center.
Yeah.
Add notes. You edit attendees but alert when I need to.
It did work. So you could do Command I as a shortcut there as well. So there's a couple of different options. You can delete your event. You can get info, all of those kinds of things. Let's stop interacting here with this.
Out of Friday, April 19th, out of March 31st, May 11th, out of April 2024, month calendar area.
See that? We had to stop 3 different times. We had to stop interacting because that's how deep into this we were. Now, if I want to add a new event, we know that was in the toolbar, and we also are going to learn that it's Command N. And so if we want to look at what that screen looks like, let's just go ahead and...
2 items. Create quick event. Create quick event. New quick event movie at 7 p.m. on Friday. Edit text.
Okay, what they're telling you, and I believe this works on the iPad and iPhone as well, and it works in the Reminders app too. You're supposed to, like, this is already, in my opinion, a degree of artificial intelligence. And this has been available for quite some time. You can type, like you just heard it give that example, movie at 7 p.m., and it will automatically schedule it for the right time and so on. Now, I don't do it that way just because I like to have more say over each aspect of it and make sure all the details are correct. But you could type something almost conversational like that, and it is supposed to do it, and I have tested it, and it does work pretty well. But you could also type your event
New
title.
Quick event movie at 7 p.m. on Friday. Edit text.
So that's the...
Press escape key to exit popover. Create quick event. Create quick new quick event movie at 7 p.m. on Friday. Edit text.
If we
Scholastic quiz at Everett March 31st.
We can stop
vertical
interacting with all
splitter
this.
toolbar.
So you
into
can
calendar,
see that,
inbox, add event button.
and the same thing here. If we hit add event,
2 items. Create quick
the very
event.
first thing it wants to do is it wants to bring up that create quick event.
New quick event movie at 7 p.m. on Friday. Edit text.
That is just an edit field.
New quick event movie at create quick event.
That's all that we have in.
You are currently on a text element.
In this particular screen. So on the iPad and iPhone, we have a lot more fields on the screen. Now, how would we see those? We'd have to type this information in there first, and then it's probably going to display those event details and let us modify them. Is that right? Let me try. Let's try. My daughter has a soccer game this weekend, so I'd rather not type all the details like they want me to that way.
Soccer game. Insertion. Soccer game. Create quick event. Soccer game.
Okay.
Insertion at end of text. Soccer game. Press escape.
Well,
soccer game. Soccer
like
game.
I'm gonna have to. So we'll say soccer game. This Saturday at noon.
Soccer game Saturday, April 20th, 2024, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Completion selected.
And that's about right. So we'll press return.
Soccer new event. 8 items.
Now what it has done is it's now brought me up to all the event details that I want to possibly have
Soccer
here.
game. Contents selected. Home. Pop-up button.
I'll put it on the family calendar.
Menu. 10 items. TTJ family.
We VO space to
You are
do that.
Closing menu. Family. Add location or video call. Edit text. Blank.
And I could add a location, which is really, really useful because that is how we can get travel time and time to leave alerts.
Y. None. Pop-up. April 20. None. Everett Elementary. Contents selected. Edit text.
If I can...
Y.
Yeah, it's not giving me a choice
Everett
there.
E. Text inserted. Jessica Volbrecht's home for Everett Area Elementary School 16.
There we go. I got to press return on it. So I typed some of it, and then I pressed the down arrow to find completion suggestions.
Everett Area Elementary School.
Okay, we got it in there now. By pressing return. And let's see what this none field is.
Pop-up button.
Well, it doesn't tell us.
Menu, FaceTime, check mark, none.
Okay, so that's if you want to do a video
closing
meeting.
April 20th, 2024, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. button.
Now,
alert when I need to leave, but
because I already typed the date and the time in there, I don't need to do anything here. If I wanted to, I could VO space on that and it would let me pick the time and the date, but we don't need to because I said this Saturday at noon, and so it already has everything correct.
Alert when I need to leave button.
Alert when I need to leave,
add
that's
alert,
good.
Repeat, or travel time button.
Let's do that.
April 20th, 2000, all day. Not Everett Area Elementary, none. Pop-up all day. Unchecked, checkbox. April 20th, 2024, date area. 12 p.m., time area. April 20th, 2024, date area. 1 p.m., time area. Calendar
it's probably going to take a little more, and we'll probably go out to lunch afterwards. So we're going to make the ending time a little bit longer. We'll interact
in
with
time
that.
area. 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m.
We'll just make it 3 o'clock and stop
out of time area.
I just used VO up arrow to do that.
Rip 3 p.m. time area. None.
Okay.
Repeat. Pop-up button.
Let's look at the repeat options.
Menu. 6 items. Every day. Every week. Every month. Every year. Custom ellipsis. Custom ellipsis.
And their custom is really powerful. I'll talk about it
closing.
Shortly. I'm just going to escape out of that.
None. Travel time. Pop-up button.
We want some travel time here.
Menu.
For sure.
6 minutes from home. 50 minutes from 6 minutes from home.
What that's doing
you
is
are currently on the menu.
Based on my current location, the driving or the walking.
13 minutes from home. 5 minutes. 15 minutes.
Then it gives me some custom times.
50 minutes. 6 minutes from 6 minutes.
That's going to be the correct one.
Time to leave. Alert, alert. Pop-up button.
Yep, we want a time to leave alert.
Add alert. Dimmed button.
Also want
none. Alert, alert. Pop-up button. Menu. Time to leave. At start of travel, 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, 50, 30, 1 hour, 2 hours before, 1 day before.
Oh, let's say 1 day
you are
before.
Closing menu, 6 minutes, none. Rip 6, 1 day before, 6 minutes, not 6 minutes, 1 day before. Alert. Add alert button. Time to leave. Alert, alert. Pop-up button.
And
alert.
there it is.
Add alert button.
Now,
add invitees, edit text, blank.
We could add email addresses of people we want to invite. If you happen to know their actual Apple ID email address, that's the best thing to put in here because it will immediately send them a notification on their from the calendar app on their devices, and the event will go in their calendar inbox with the opportunity to accept the invite or to decline or to propose an alternate time. If you don't know their Apple ID and it's not a situation where it's appropriate to ask, that's okay. It'll just send them an email with the same choices. But then, so we can add invitees by their email address.
Add notes, then, URL, or attachments button.
So maybe we have a website we want people to look at or an attachment we'd like them to review, and that's all well and good, but we don't need to do any of that.
Map centered on Everett area element. Map centered on.
The map is there, so all I'm going to do.
Add notes. Add invite.
Now, we're basically done. I just go to an empty field here. And
add notes. You prep map centered on Everett area element.
Once I stop
add invitees.
Interacting, this is all here now. And
press escape key to exit popover.
It says press escape key to exit popover. If we press return, that's all that happens. There's
soccer game, family, pop-up.
See that there's no actual
soccer
done
game
button
at
or
Everett Area Elementary School 165 East 1st, March 31st, May 11th, 2024. Grid 6.
That is
Saturday,
20th.
April 20th. One event list.
And you can notice
soccer
that
game at Everett Area Elementary School 16 out of March 30th.
Soccer
game at Everett Area Elementary School 165.
And all I really had to do is press return there, and then I just pressed escape to exit the popover, just because that allowed me to get back to the normal calendar screen. Now, one of the really, really nice things, of course, as I mentioned is that when you do this, you are actually now also putting this on your other devices as long as they are signed in to the same iCloud account. And I can also find it on my calendar if I go into the calendar app on my phone.
What camera?
Turn that up a little.
Photos.
Okay.
Soccer game. Soccer game.
And if we want, you can even edit the event on the phone, and it's going to have all the same information. So it's really, really nice because that's synced perfectly. Praise God, it's on the iPhone, it's on my iPad, it's on all the devices that I have. The travel time is in there. The alerts are in there one day before, and so we have everything that we possibly could want there. And it just is really, really a seamless process. Now, what I would tell you is that there are some things that we didn't look at extensively, but you got the idea. For example, we talked about the travel time a little bit. And you have to put a location for your event in there in order to be able to get travel time. But the nice part about that is you also get time to leave alerts if you want them to, if you want to get those. The way that works is that your device will actually use the current traffic conditions to let you know when it is the appropriate time to leave. And they give you a couple extra minutes too, just as kind of a buffer. And so that's really nice because if you're, not sure exactly how long it's going to take to get there, you set that up and then it will give you the time to leave alert. The other thing that the iPhone and the iPad do is they let you have default alert times for different kinds of events and so on as well. The other one I wanted to talk about was the custom repeat. So you saw the repeat options of like every day, every week, every month, every year, but you also saw custom. I'm not going to go into all of the details of that custom repeat option because it's so much. There's so many options that you can choose there. But the idea behind this is, what if you have an event that occurs on the second Tuesday of each month? Or what if you have an event that occurs every Tuesday and Thursday? Or, there are different options like that. And it's worth playing with because there's almost, you might be able to find some random exception, but there's almost nothing there's almost no recurrence pattern that it won't allow you to set. You just have to play with it a little. And so that's custom repeats. And then you also have the ability to choose an end for the repeat. Like these soccer games, they are actually every week, but they're at different locations. So I didn't do the repeat there. But my daughter has soccer practice the same times every week, but that's going to end once we're done with the month of May. Soccer season ends at the beginning of June. So then, we could say the repeat rate, the end repeat is not never, it rather is on, June, whatever. The other one I wanted to talk more about was the shared calendars. Like you heard it say that we have a family calendar. And if you use family sharing, that's what you get. You get a family calendar that everybody can add events to. You also still have your personal ones. You have home, I have a work one. I also have created other shared calendars. You can create a calendar and share it with a group of people. This is really useful. We use this for our TTJ team. We have a team calendar. So when we put events on there, everybody on the team sees them. And then you can have public subscription calendars. And public subscription calendars are like the US holiday calendar, where you don't get to edit the calendar. It's read only, but you can access the events on it. Going back to that soccer theme, if you are the coach of a soccer team, perhaps you create a calendar for the game and practice schedule, and everybody can subscribe to it. You can make it a public calendar with a link, and people can subscribe. They're not going to be able to edit the calendar, but they'll be able to know when all the events are on the calendar. All right, so those are some little tidbits. What we still need to look at is we have to look at the menu bar. So let's go up with VOM.
Apple menu.
We, of course, have the
Calendar
Apple menu, the calendar menu. You know, it's going to have settings in it and things of that nature. Let's look
File
at File.
menu, 8 items. New
VO down
event,
arrow.
Command N.
And there's what Trainer Cliff said. Command N. Quickly create a new event. Let's go
New
down
calendar,
here.
submenu.
And that is going to have some choices in it. So let's VO right arrow and see
New
what
calendar,
those are.
submenu, 1 item iCloud. iCloud.
Okay, so actually it only has 1 item in it. It's just allowing me to choose where I create it, but I'm going to create it in iCloud.
File
That's good.
menu.
Let's go
New
back out
calendar,
of that.
new holiday new calendar,
Okay.
subscription, ellipsis, Command Option S.
Remember, we just talked about calendar subscriptions. You might have a URL, a web link to subscribe to a calendar. That's where you'd enter that.
New
Listen
calendar,
again.
subscription, ellipsis, Command Option S.
And you heard Command Option S
You
is
are
the
currently
shortcut
on
for
a
that as well.
new holiday calendar, ellipsis.
Okay, so new holiday
Import
calendar.
ellipsis. Export. Close Command W. Print ellipsis Command P. Print ellipsis.
All right, pretty common. Let's see.
Edit. Net undo add redo. Dim command cut command X. Copy command C. Paste. Cut command
Listen to
X.
those.
Copy command
Cut
C.
command X,
Paste.
command C to copy,
Dim
paste,
command V.
frenzy.
Delete. Select all command A. Delete.
Okay, let's see. There's no
You are
shortcut.
select
they're saying
all
for that.
command A. Duplicate command D. Edit event command E.
So you can, when you have an event highlighted, you can command E to get the details.
Get
and
info
edit them.
command I.
There's the get command I that tells us that.
Show
there.
inspector command option merge
Okay.
calendar submenu sharing settings ellipsis dimmed
Not
stop
gonna mess
sharing
with any of that.
ellipsis resend invitations ellipsis dim find command F show spelling and grammar command colon
all
autofill
these choices
submenu
here.
start dictation dimmed microphone
and then we'll
view
go over
menu
here.
19 item show
See if
by
there's
day
anything we
command
wanna
by
view.
week command 2
Okay, again, these are just other. Again, it's the same thing we had in
show
the
all
toolbar.
tabs dim
So
by day command 1
we now see that there are also shortcut keys to switch between day, week, month, and year. I'm assuming it's 1 through 4.
by week command 2 check mark by month command 3
Yep,
by
so
year
far so
command 4 next
you have it.
command right arrow previous command left arrow go to today command T go to date
today.
ellipsis command shift T
You can go to a specific date with Command Shift T if you want to search for something on a specific
make text
date.
bigger command plus make text smaller
of course,
show calendar list
Some of these other options, and then and show calendar list is just going to give you a list of events.
show
and then-
notifications check mark show all day
That's
events
pretty much
show declined
No.
events check mark show travel time refresh calendars command R enter full screen cap F enter full screen window menu set
window
help
menu, help menu. I mean, those are pretty standard.
closing
So I think that's, I mean, this is pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. And let's see. The only other thing I would say to that is, in addition to all this, of course, it's possible to use SIRI to create events. You also saw how we asked her what's on the calendar for a certain date. And if you know the exact name of something, you can say, when is my dentist appointment or what have you. And that's another way to do that too. Trainer Cliff, do you have anything to add to this calendar discussion? We looked at the menu bar. We looked at the toolbar. Anything else?
I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a app that you really have to navigate and use trial and error to learn different things. The one thing I will mention, I don't know if I heard you go through it, when you're making an event, because of the pandemic happening, there's now an option in where you can select video or Zoom conference, WebEx, whatever. You can basically tell it it's going to be a video conference, and it'll take away the option to have travel time and stuff like that. But this is one of those apps that if you don't practice it, you're not going to learn it, because we can demo it all day, but if you don't get in there and get your hands dirty, for lack of a better term, then you're not going to be able to know what you're doing. With events, there's not a save button. You just have to hit the enter and it adds it to your calendar. You can go back and verify the day and the event to make sure it's there, make corrections if you need to. But other than that, that's the as they say in the tech world, the long and the short of it.
Okay. All right. I think that's going to do it for this time. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Want a free consultation or some paid one-on-one training? Email us at support@ttjtech.biz or support@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. Or check out our websites for additional free resources. That's ttjtech.biz or stiritup.com. I'm Trainer Cliff. Thanks for joining us. God bless. See you next time.